Good. Well, the focus that we have is, trying to get everybody to play to their very best ability. Everybody play to a standard. Everybody buy into not just talking about what standard is, but what do I actually have to do to be able to accomplish that, play that, prepare so that we can go take and play the games to that level and do it for 60 minutes in a game. And that's something that we've been talking about all week. Players have responded, pretty well, to it. I think the preparation has gone, fairly well. So we just got to keep these guys, focused on what they need to do. Not, I always say the standard comes from here. Motivation comes from out there. And we would like for everybody to have pride in their performance, so their standard is something that's important to them, and they're willing to do the things to invest in their future that they need to do so that they can be the best players that they can be. And nobody can really have the poor meetings about, my circumstance, my situation, how I feel, we lost a game, none of that. I mean, don't waste the failing, do everything you can to try to improve and get better, and that'll help our team get better as well.
Start over here on the left for Chase.
How do you think Jalen's done so far, just in terms of reading and reacting to blitzes?
The issue in the game was, I think we only got sacked once on the blitz, and the back cut the linebacker, and he got up and still sacked the quarterback. The other issues were really basically 4-man rush, 3-man rush. So I think that he has done okay. I think that what we need to do as an offense is everybody's got to pay more attention to detail. We can't give bird and rabbit so the other team knows when we're passing so they can tee off. All right, so all these little things sort of add up to create a disadvantage for you if you don't get them fixed. And these are all things that our players need to understand and need to do so we can protect better and the quarterback can have a better chance to operate.
Charlie.
Hey, Coach. Last week you mentioned how continuity in the secondary was an issue because of the injured guys. Just how have you seen this depth of that position group come along?
Well, they've been good this week. They've all been able to practice and do what they can do. Now, this team's going to go fast. They're fastball as fast as anybody in the country goes. So, probably can't, sub on third down. You're going to probably play with whoever's in the game. So we try to do that against fast against teams like this. We get caught with 12 guys on the field, or we can't get them off the field when we make a first down. So we've been playing with those 5 guys. They've all not had any issues this week, so hopefully that'll be beneficial in terms of practice reps, those communication and all that type of thing.
Go to Nick on the left.
From a recruiting standpoint, what's the benefit and impact of going to a market like Tampa during the season for a game?
I think anytime you play on the road and you play a quality opponent, which I think these guys have made tremendous improvement in their team and the quality of players and all that. I mean, it's a game that's going to be on TV. It's a good market for our fan base in Central Florida, so I think it's all good. And but I think it's only good if you play good. So, image is something that you got to work to really have in terms of what I talked about before in terms of standard, how you play and the things that you do. So that pride in performance is going to be important no matter where we play.
Front here with Nick Kelly.
What's the key as a coach to basically letting a player develop or deciding that you need to make a change in the position, giving another player another opportunity?
I think everything is performance based. And, like I said before, and I've said this to the team, if you want security at your position, then you have to play well. That's what gives you security at your position. If you're not playing well, then we're going to evaluate, can anybody else play that position more consistently, better, whatever. Because everybody's trying to give their best. People are sometimes critical of whatever, but nobody takes a loss harder than the players. Nobody takes a loss harder than the coaches. because it's our blood, sweat, and tears that we put into it, and we want to do it better. And I think the players want to do it better. But we live in a result-oriented world, so, and we have to live with consequences of what we do. I mean, nobody plans on, having a wreck and hurting somebody. But yet, that could create consequences for your future that are unbelievable. So, you don't do it on purpose. You try hard. You want to be the best that you can be. And I think that's the attitude that everybody should keep, regardless of what your circumstances is or are. Because even if you have a failing, you need to go work on taking advantage of the next opportunity that you have. And I don't know that I can truly answer your question as to when do you make those decisions. I think it's truly got to be based on someone's performance and how it's affecting everybody else on the team.
Okay, we will go with Cody next. And then Tony.
Are there experiences from past seasons or lessons you've learned from past seasons that you can use this season when it comes to establishing and developing the offensive identity?
Yeah, I think that, we went through some struggles, I forget what year, maybe 2013, 14, 15, somewhere along there, where, we were struggling early in the season. We lost to Ole Miss early in the season. We were sort of struggling on offense, couldn't find an identity, eventually found an identity and had, a really good season. So you keep searching. I think you got to get the right combination of players. You got to get the right chemistry, and everybody's got to do a good job. I mean, I don't care what the identity is. It comes down to execution, whether it's running or passing or punting. Right? It all comes down to your ability to execute. And we've had too many inconsistencies in execution. I mean, when you take drive stoppers, okay, we had 6 offensive penalties. Those are drive stoppers. 2 of those penalties took points off. We got sacked 5 times. Sacks are drive stoppers. Drop balls are drive stoppers. We only had 1, drop ball. So, and turnovers are obviously drive stoppers. The other team gets the ball and you don't have it. So when you add all those up, you should be at a much more efficient percentage than we were Saturday night. You can figure it out. So all those things come down to execution and people's ability to execute to eliminate them. So we keep working on it.
Tony and Ryan.
After going over the film, what has led to the struggles in the intermediate passing game? What has led to the struggles in the intermediate passing game, 10 to 19 yards, that range?
Look, when you have a pass play, it's not designed to go 5 yards. It's not designed to go 10 yards. It's not designed to go 20 yards down the field. You have a pattern, and most patterns attack various levels. And then you read the defense and you decide, where should I throw the ball? Sometimes it's 20 yards down the field. Sometimes you got to take the check down and it's a 5-yard play. All right, so we have made some explosive plays in our first 2 games. We have not been consistent in what you refer to as the intermediate passing game in making decisions and get the ball out of our hand quickly and run good routes so we're open and things are, pretty decisive for the quarterback because of the picture. So, and we need to everybody needs to do a better job. Protection needs to be better. Pocket doesn't need to be collapsed on the quarterback with a 4-man rush. So all those things need to get better. And we're going to work on that.
Finish it back over to Ryan.
Coach, in the past, clearly a lot of success, and that comes with a lot of players that had success with you. A lot of players since the loss have came out that used to play on your program criticizing and saying different things. How do you tell your players to just listen to you and the inside noise and not listen to that? Because that's tough. I know it's easier for you, but maybe 18 to 22-year-olds, like Trent Richardson today said, we need to get back to Bama ball. How do you tell your guys to stay in the room that you're in?
Again, I talk to the players about internal standard versus external noise. And, I think that we didn't play great. So, people get upset that we get criticized. But why wouldn't we get criticized if we don't play well? I mean, people call me and say, hey man, this guy's a jerk for, saying this about you. No, he really isn't. I mean, it's right. We didn't play good. I'm responsible for that. So we did all these things on offense that I just talked about, add them up. Well, I mean, I'm responsible for that. So, I mean, in the real world, when you don't perform and you don't produce, you probably get criticized. Sometimes get penalized. Some people lose their job when they don't perform well. That's maybe even worse than losing a game when you can't feed your family and your children and all that, make your house payment. I guess that's worse. So I don't really know what the noise is. I haven't listened to one talk radio show. I haven't read one newspaper. I have been focusing 100% of my time on the next team that we play, the last team that we played, and what we need to do to fix that. And I think all the players would be better served, and everybody in the organization would be better served if they all did that. Because what somebody else thinks really doesn't matter. It's all about what you do and how you respond to what you need to do so that you have a chance to be successful in the future.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, thanks.